Yes, I've been waiting to do this video for the longest. I wanted to do it on the free-to-play drop, but when I looked at the reviews before, they look either fake or bot. If you compare PlayStation with Xbox and their reviews, they basically go together. But then you look at Steam and it's like these reviews look a little sus, but we let the game sit for a while. It's months, I think even a year almost, into the game. I can look at these reviews and I can see what people have to say. But hold up, one very, very important thing before we get into it. I do not make content to agree or disagree with anybody. I say how I feel. If you come to my channel and expect Poppin to make videos based off how you feel, that's not what's happening. I only say this because when I read these comments, I'm going to be speaking on my mind, which means it may offend you guys. Again, I don't make videos to agree with people and make people happy with me. I just say the truth. That's all I do. I say the truth and I say objectively the truth. Again, viewers' discretion advised, but let's hop into it. All right, so the first comment that we have, they said they recommend Disney Speedstorm. The last 2 weeks they played 26 hours. That's pretty chunky. That's some good time. And then they played 106 hours full on record. I like that. I like that. They said, yes, they recommend the game, but the price to pay for this fun and beautiful, it is beautiful, is its terrible character obtention system. Even if you get the either free or paid currency, you can't buy a specific character. You need to collect their fragments, making the process expensive and unsatisfying. I can definitely say the process of getting a character is unsatisfying. I don't use money to get it, so I can't really say it's expensive, but for those that actually do, maybe you guys do think it's expensive, but I do agree, it's a bit tedious. But the reason this is how it is because their target audience isn't a competitive audience. I know, like, hold up, like I said, viewer discretion. It's not a competitive audience. People that play Speedstorm may feel like they're competitive, may feel like they're going crazy and going ham, but it's a very small percent, like less than 1%. Most players that play Speedstorm like feeling overpowered after they purchase. Most players that play Speedstorm don't like playing ranked because they have to try too hard because they're not powerful enough to just skate by. That is Disney Speedstorm's audience. And so without the shard system, the game would then have to be a competitive hardcore game like Mario Kart when you get to high ranks, of course, like Crash Team Racing, like Nickelodeon Racing and things like that. Like, these are some real kart racers, and these are things that require skill, not just being overstated. If they really were to go the competitive route and really eliminate this pay to win, people probably wouldn't play Disney Speedstorm. A lot of the players that play are casual. A lot of the players that play other games like Dreamlight Valley. They play games that aren't really hardcore modern warfare. They don't play Tekken. They don't play Street Fighter. You know, they don't play these hard games because they don't like them, right? They like a kart game that's simple. They like a kart game that has Disney in it, and that's what Gameloft services. So this is why a lot of the changes go towards that realm, because people don't ever care about the core mechanics of the game. They care about racing their character and being strong. And what's the easiest way to do that? Sharding yourself up. That's why that system is in place right now. They continue by saying it is also partially pay to win due to you being able / encouraged to use money to upgrade your characters and crew. It's not partially pay to win, it's like massively pay to win, but you know, I feel where you're coming from. Depending on RNG, to get and upgrade the character you want is an awful feeling. Why can't I read? All that aside, the actual game has a great Disney atmosphere. Characters, locations, and music are all very well done. I also agree to that. Gameplay is fun and diverse with each character having iconic and unique skills, and the game does make an effort to keep players entertained by providing new content periodically. I agree with all that. And again, that helps solidify what I haven't even read this comment yet, but that helps solidify exactly what I just said. This comment right here straight up says they don't care about the mechanics of the game. If you stripped away Disney from Disney Speedstorm, the game's bad. It's horrible. You have way too much lag. You have way too many synchronization issues. You have way too many bugs and glitches that just aren't fixed. Things don't work right. The combat is too much. It's too chaotic. It's too hectic. And you can tell me that you like that type of gameplay, but realistically, without these characters, this game would not work and it would not have any traction. That being said, this is why Gameloft goes the way they go. They understand you more than you understand yourself. And that's why they can continue to do things and get money, because again, they understand you more than you understand yourself. They understand you don't care about a fair, balanced gameplay environment. They understand that you don't care about anything other than my character, my music, and my maps. And you can even see this by comments left on my videos, comments left on Reddit or whatever. People are saying, if they drop this character, I will buy and I will spend money. That's literally all Gameloft needs to continue to take the game the way they want to. So you're telling me, if we drop a character, no matter what we do, you cashing out. That's what you're telling me right now. We can make this game horrible and you will cash out if we drop a character. Word? That's how it works, right? And the reason why people do that is because they are addicted to the Speedstorm formula. Any other game where you see a situation where someone is dissatisfied with how the game functions, they don't play the game anymore. Speedstorm and mobile games, that's just how they work. Mobile games as well, they have an addictive quality to them that keeps you playing. If it's like a game like Overwatch or League of Legends where they have an addictive quality as well, but it's more skill, it's more for people who want to improve, and that's the addiction. It's like the more I play, the better I get, the more I win. Speedstorm and other mobile games aren't like that. And that's how they do what they do. Okay, and so again, viewers discretion advised. I don't want to hurt anyone, but again, I always say, I tell the truth. I don't like making content to make people happy or to make people sad on purpose. I just tell the truth, and I just tell you what it is. If you don't like it, then, I apologize. I don't mean to hurt anybody, but that's literally how it's happening right now. It's just the truth. But again, the maps, the characters, and the music are well done. Just the core mechanics of the game, if you strip Disney Speedstorm away and all those cool things away, this game would be horrible. It would be doomed from the start because it's just not a good game without the Disney characters that we know and love. Let's move on to the next comment. All right, so on the second comment, they said not recommended. But before we actually hop into that, I want to say that I did not include April's reviews. I know you might see March, but I didn't include April's reviews because the reviews are going to be all the same. They dislike how the Game Pass is going to be changed, and that's not really a review. That's just people being upset about a change that they did. That's unfair. That's a mob-like mentality where one person says something and everyone else says the same, and we got that going. That's not a real review. So I want to give Gameloft the benefit of the doubt and really take the reviews from before that choice, because that's going to really speak more on the game. Let's continue. So they played less than 1 hour in the last 2 weeks, which makes sense. Most players that play Disney Speedstorm come for that one period of a new season drop, and then they don't play the game anymore. Maybe come back for a character event, but don't play the game anymore. That's pretty much how it always has been. But they spent 34 hours on record. I see what you're doing. Still enjoyable if you are looking for a Mario Kart-like experience. However, Speedstorm is a microtransaction-laden freemium title. Multiplayer is also pay to win, with racers being upgraded and resources, and limited to having enough racer tokens to star up. I agree with all that, honestly. It is a Mario Kart-like experience, and Disney Speedstorm definitely has taken from multiple Mario Kart games and multiple Sonic Transform. They've taken from a lot of games. They've taken from Jak and Dexter. I don't know, that's an old one. But you may see Speedstorm as like some innovative mechanical genius, but it's really not. It really just took from a whole bunch of games and mashed it into one and created that. This is why when you first try Speedstorm, it actually feels insane, because like no one has ever done that before. But the one thing that keeps those games being good is the fact that there's a real competitive experience. With Disney Speedstorm, as they just said, I mean, it's just pay to win. You don't need to do anything other than press gas, and as long as you have more stats than someone else, you auto win. Now, there are players that are very, very good, but it's a very small percent. Again, under 1% of the players are actually good at the game in terms of like, if they played Mario Kart, if they played Crash Team Racing, they just wipe the floor. They already play games like that, most likely, and their skills transfer. But most of the population that plays the game does not hardcore play games like that. Like, they don't hardcore play those type of games. It's too much for them. And that's why Speedstorm works. Is because it seems hard enough for you, and it tricks you, especially with that cinematic camera that zooms in when you go faster. It tricks you to feel like you're a good player, when realistically all it is that you got more stats, and on screen it looks like you're a good player. That sounds really harsh. I know that sounds harsh. Again, viewers discretion. But I'm saying this is why they can make these choices, and this is why you feel there's no other game like Disney Speedstorm, because realistically there isn't. All the other games require you to be good at the game, and they're old, right? However, if Mario Kart were to make a Mario Kart 9, if Sonic Racing Transform made a remake, if Crash Team Racing were to make a remake, bro, this game would get dumpstered. Why? because the core mechanic of the game is just not good. It hides behind Disney. Now, that's not to say this game is just really awful and trash. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that the core mechanics of the game, such as, you know, how they drive and how it actually functions when you're holding the controller, it's non-existent. If people were to bring back those other monsters, Speedstorm wouldn't even be on the radar anymore. The only reason it would ever be on there is because of the Disney Speedstorm characters that they drop into the game. And that right there says a lot. But that's how they continue to be in service. And that's how Gameloft always is in service. They have a lot of Disney games, and they're actually pretty okay games if you're new. Once you start realizing what's behind all the other doors, you're like, I'd rather play something else. But they're dipping their feet in a console territory, bringing mobile into it. It's like, bro, if these real developers came up, these AAAs are like, bro, sit down, Gameloft. We got it from here. Come on. But because this is the only game that we have that's technically new, it's the real only kart racer that we have, it actually can hang on a lot longer than it would be unless they brought other games to just kind of knock it out the park. The next comment that we have is from a player that spent 2.7 hours in the last 2 weeks. They said they recommend it. They have over 200 hours. Okay, I see you. They said Disney Speedstorm is a very fun kart racer, even online and offline. The best part about it, it's free. It is free. It is free to play and download. I've been playing since the first season and been enjoying the game since then. The developers improved the game in the last months, listened to the players, and decreased the pay to win aspect a lot. Even if you are a new player, you will get very easily into the game and will have an awesome experience. Okay, let's back this up. Person's been playing since season 1, so they're in my shoes. If you've been playing since season 1, this game has been a cakewalk up until now. You're probably going to beat almost every single player. You can unlock almost every single thing. Issues were non-existent to you. So for this review, it's biased because they never really struggled, right? You know what I'm saying? This is what my videos were always about, the struggle. Even if I never went through it, I would see players go through it and I would speak on it. This is a struggle that they didn't really factor in there. They also said the developers listened and improved the games in the last months. They didn't listen to anything other than the cash decisions. A lot of what was changed was really just changed for people who are on the leaderboard and people who spend a lot. And that might seem cruel, but we know that's how mobile games work. They want to get more money. How do you get more money? Pleasing the people that make more money. Or people pleasing, not make, but spend more. Because realistically, if we can fine tune the experience of the paid players that play now, if people want to join that bracket, it's already fine-tuned for them, right? So this is why it's better to prioritize on them because that's their main goal of a person. If they were not to fine-tune the pay-to-play experience or the pay-to-win experience, when people got to that portion, they'd be like, this game sucks. But if you make it good for them, then whenever anybody else joins, they chill it. Right? And that's not to say people that pay for this game, I'm never trying to shame those who pay. So if you are someone who pays for the game, there's no disrespect to you at all. You love the game. I understand you love the game, and we should never, ever treat anyone differently, whether they are free or not. I'm speaking objectively in what decisions are being made. So that is why I'm saying what I'm saying. So again, there's no hate to anybody who pays and no hate to anybody who says I'm never spending a dime, nothing like that at all. You do you, enjoy your game. But objectively speaking, that is how they've been making their changes. Like I said, the core mechanics of Speedstorm, the core issues with racing and the glitches and the synchronization issue and the lag and the buggy and the crappy part, excuse my French, the crappy part of Speedstorm when it comes to online play has never been rectified at all. And when we're talking about ranked, my God, that hasn't even been touched. However, it could be touched this season. We got 2 more pit stops to go, so it's possible. I'm really looking forward to seeing if something gets changed and we can have a real competitive mode. But in that sense, there's nothing there. It's just straight up a pay to win experience. And if you are someone who does pay, or if you're someone who was fortunate enough to be a founder and now you have a whole bunch of statted racers, you don't experience all these bugs and glitches or anything like that until you go against someone just as fast as you. So this right here means if you are overstatted, your experience with Speedstorm is now infinitely better. Infinitely better. You don't have these bugs. You don't have these glitches because when you are overstatted, you are far away from all the issues this game has in terms of online play. So Yeah, you know, this person saying that, you know, it's been great, it's been awesome, online play is great, most likely have been stacked, most likely is able to just cruise on by and leave everybody in the dust and just basically race by themselves like it's a time trial. Big difference than if you are the same level as everyone or if you're under leveled. You'll see so many bugs, you'll see so many glitches, you'll see so many issues with the online play that you just don't even want to play anymore. This is why everybody gets frustrated. And then on top of that, don't even talk about the bots. Whether you're the same level or under leveled, you're gonna have issues. And let's not even talking about the regulated bots, because regulated bots, boy, I swear they be cheating. So we just got a lot of issues that this player may not run into because they are, again, where I was, right? You're overstated. You can do everything and not really struggle. Let's move on to the next comment. So the next comment says, not recommended, 0 hours played in the last 2 weeks. Safe to say they maybe quit. And then 100 hours on record. I mean, Disney Greedstorm. What are you gonna say? I don't actually, look, ironically, I don't have an issue with them having the Greedstorm thing. I don't care that they make people pay for things. The problem is they hide all the issues of the game behind Disney characters and expect people to pay for a bad quality product. Okay, as I said before, in online races, if you are stacked, you don't feel any of these issues. But there are way too many glitches. There's way too many lags, bugs. Things just are not being fixed, and some of them are still there since 8 months ago when it was in early access. Now you could say, well, they're trying, they're doing their best. It's not that easy to fix bugs. They don't care about that. You can't, I'm not gonna take that this time. I've took it before, but this time, if they aren't fixed, they're not fixed because that's not on their priority list. And in which case they don't care about the functionality of the game. They care about, how can I drop more characters? How can I drop more maps? How can I drop more music? And what can I do to get more money? So yes, the Greedstorm is valid, but the mechanics of the game are just so poor that if they were to take Speedstorm away, like Disney away, it wouldn't work. Then they're asking players to pay out their butt for a bad quality game. If we even talk about the offline play, right? How many times have you guys had bots with rubber band? How many times did you guys have bots not get hit by things? How many times do you guys have bots seem like they just magically have 2 items? How many times have you seen a Jumba in your match for some reason repeatedly, especially during time trial? Like, it is such a bad quality product on online and offline, but we don't see it because of the ooh and the ah that is Disney. That is why I personally have an issue with what they do. It is not that they're asking for money. If the product is good, ask for money. Look at Call of Duty. That game has made so much money, bajillions, and they ask for so much money, but it is a good game. Look at Fortnite, a good game. All these games are good. Mario Kart, man, them packs, Splatoon, them packs, them things is expensive. Like, these are good games though, and they're asking for a bunch. Now you could say, well, they only asked for it one time. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. What I'm saying is that if the quality is good, no one cares about how much money you're asking for. The issue is the quality of the game is not good. You have issues with online, you have issues with offline. The game's too pay to win. No one can do anything in the game unless they pay. Like, everything is horrible, but hey, it's Disney, take my money. That's the issue. And again, it really sucks to see a company like, it sucks because I grew up with Disney. I grew up with a whole bunch of cartoons and a whole bunch of like IPs. But the fact that you're saying that we can make a very horrible product and we'll just, you know, slap some Disney Speedstorm, some Disney paint over it and say, here you go, $20 please, $15 for this, for that. And it works. That's my issue. It actually works. Players get mad, but the problem is they feed into it. It works. If you have been someone to complain, but then go ahead and just continue to play or buy, again, no shade, what's the point of complaining at that point? I mean, you're incentivizing it. If you're allowing them to have a bad product and still giving them the same amount of money that you would give, whether it's a good product or a bad product, well, there's no reason to change anything at that point, right? And so again, I don't really have an issue with them asking for money. My issue is they're asking for money for a product that is not good, but just has Disney in the name, and that's why it works. That's my real issue. Player says, not recommended. 0 hours in the last 2 weeks, 45 hours on record. That's a lot of hours. Positive. Disney Speedstorm offers a visually stunning racing experience with a vibrant and detailed track inspired by beloved Disney worlds. The roster of Disney characters in the vehicle. Okay, so they're pretty much saying what I said in terms of the Disney thing. Disney's in the game, so it's a positive. But what's the negative? Because like I said, they do have a lot of good artwork and a lot of good music and stuff. We know this. The negative says, despite its charming aesthetic, Disney Speedstorm falls short in terms of gameplay depth. After a few hours, races start to feel repetitive, and there's a lack of variety in track design. The online multiplayer mode is plagued by connectivity issues and matchmaking problems, leading to frustrating experience for players looking to compete against others. Microtransactions are heavy push with an abundance of in-game purchases for character skins, vehicles, and power-ups, and all that extra good stuff. Overall, Disney Speedstorm has its moments of fun and nostalgia, but it's marred. I was gonna say married. It's marred by some significant flaws that hinder its long-term appeal. Again, a lot of people that play Disney Speedstorm just aren't competitive gamers, and that's not like shade to you. Again, there's no shade. I just knew that. This is why I said viewers' discretion is advised. I'm gonna tell the truth. There's no shade to that, but again, players that aren't competitive players have a hard time identifying when a game is bad, and they kind of are blindsided by the Disney thing. If you play games as a enjoyer rather than a I want to be the best, Disney Speedstorm, you can't tell that those issues are there. But if you're someone who plays for real, like you play Overwatch, you play League of Legends, you play Call of Duty, you play Smash Brothers, you play Crash Team, like if you play these real competitive games and then you play Speedstorm, your body's gonna scream, because it's like, bro, what is this? What is this right now? And that's the issue, right? A lot of the issues mechanically, Gameloft doesn't focus on, because the players that play don't care about the mechanics of the game. They care about their Disney characters, and then they also care about the music and the stages. That's why they don't change it. And that's actually a really good comment. It looks like they're in quotation marks, so maybe they're pulled from an article or something like that. But that's actually like hitting the nail on the head. That's literally what I just said, but a nicer way to say it. Let's move on to the next comment. The next comment says recommended 5.8 hours last 2 weeks, and then of course 49 hours on record. And this was posted on the 11th and then updated. Does the queue like push itself up if you update? I love this game very much right now, and I hope the game continues to develop for quite a while. It's kind of comments like these is what I seen when the game first went free to play and whatnot. But the funny part is that a lot of the comments in their Discord, or a lot of the comments on Reddit, or even my YouTube videos said otherwise. And then you have PlayStation and Xbox like reviews that say otherwise. That's why I thought Steam was kind of like not real. Now, I don't want to say that they intentionally did it or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying from the looks of my perspective, when I seen how people feel or felt about the game in season 4 and season 5 and even 6, yet Steam reviews has always been like above 80%, 90%. It was kind of like sus. And so when I saw stuff like this is why I never really wanted to do Steam reviews, because I was like, well, these don't look real. They don't look like they actually make sense. But I did want to show one that was kind of like that, just so you guys could see why I didn't want to do it. But that's what we have. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. As I said before, my final thing on this game is that, I apologize if I offended anybody. That's not the point of the video. Like I said though, viewers discretion advised. I'm just a truthful, honest person, and I'm telling it like it is. I don't make content to upset people intentionally, but I also don't make content to agree with anybody. I just make what I feel, and whether you hate me or love me for it is just what it is. But I do feel like the mechanics of Speedstorm itself, it's just a Disney polish on a bad game. That being said, the polish is actually insane. Like whoever works on the polish is y'all clean. I like it. But I just hate how Gameloft is just like leaning on that instead of actually making a good game. It's like, you know what? Let's not make a good game and hide behind Disney. People aren't going to pay attention anyway, because they're more focused on characters and whatnot than they are the actual game itself. And that is the type of experience that they're looking for. They want to feel overpowered. They want to feel fast without doing a lot of work. They want to collect and max out everything. That's pretty much their audience. And so that audience that they're catering to, again, no shade to you. I feel like I have to say this a lot, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to be honest. If you are part of that group, that is who they are focused on. This is why a lot of the decisions made within all these seasons has been for you. It's been for that group. The casuals who just wants to collect, who just wants to be strong, who feels good when they power up their character so that it's stronger or faster or whatever. You're their audience they're trying to satisfy, and this is why a lot of the changes that they've done don't inherently seem too bad, is because it's for you. So if you are someone like me, which likes a more competitive, serious experience where I really want skills to shine, then, you know, Speedstorm is going to have a lot of glaring issues with the game mechanically, like the controller holding portion, than it would if you were someone who likes to just collect and like to level and like to do tour and all that extra good stuff. You won't experience what I see. So that's kind of why. And again, that's majority of Speedstorm. Only like less than 1% of players really are insane like me. So again, they're not really doing anything wrong. They're actually going in the right direction for what they want to go in. Unfortunately, it's not the good direction. And like I said, if any of these other giants want to take a swing at this cart ball, if any one of these giants want to take a swing at this cart ball, they're going to knock it out the park and Speedstorm's going to go by. That's pretty much how it's going to work, because all these big companies that actually know how to make console games and know how to respect their community and know how to make content for their community, they stomp. Even if they charge bajillion dollars for their content, they stomp. And, you know, that's just something that, if they wanted to, but I just don't think the kart racing genre is actually that huge. So I don't think many of them are going to waste their time on doing something like that unless they're a smaller like group. But if we're talking about Riot Games, Epic Games, Activision, EA, like these type of companies that are just massive, I don't think they would do that, because I don't think there's a lot of marketing in it. Like, again, Speedstorm works because people want to pay, but those type of games, like the people that make those games don't really, they make good gameplay fundamentally, and then they focus on microtransactions and all the bajillion dollars after. If they make a good competitive kart racing game, they probably know it's not going to do well because people don't care about kart racing that much, and they honestly really don't care about being extremely good at it. Whereas Speedstorm understands, you guys care about Disney, you guys don't care about being too like amazing at it, but you want to feel amazing. We can do that. Here's how. And that's kind of what they're doing. But thank you guys for watching. Do appreciate it. As I always say, leave your comments down below. I love reading them, and I hope I did not offend anybody. I do apologize. That is not the point of this video. Like I said, I'm reading the reviews, and it's just unfiltered what comes out. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. Will often.